Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived three best friends, Karim, Dean, and Luka. Karim was a brave and strong young man. Dean was quick-witted and always had a joke up his sleeve, and Luka was a curious and adventurous boy. They were inseparable and did everything together, from exploring the woods to playing games. One day, while wandering in the woods, they stumbled upon a small door built into the side of a hill. Curious, they opened the door and saw a staircase leading down into the darkness. Without hesitation, Karim bravely led the way down the stairs, followed closely by Dean and Luka. They descended for what felt like hours, and just when they were about to give up, they finally saw a faint light at the end of the tunnel. As they approached the light, they heard voices and music growing louder and louder, and suddenly they emerged into a magnificent underground city. The city was filled with all kinds of people, from different races and cultures, all living together in harmony. The friends were amazed by what they saw, but their awe soon turned to shock as they learned that the city was ruled by an evil dictator named Zoltar, who had been oppressing the citizens with his cruel and unjust laws. The citizens told them how Zoltar had taken over the city and seized control of everything. He had imposed harsh taxes on them and made life miserable for everyone who didn't agree with him. People had lost their jobs and homes, and they were afraid to speak out against him. Determined to help their new friends, Karim, Dean, and Luka set out to find a way to defeat Zoltar and restore justice to the city. They met with the leaders of the various communities and together devised a plan to take down the dictator. But first, they needed to gather intelligence on Zoltar's stronghold, where he kept his army of fierce warriors. Dean came up with a clever plan to infiltrate the stronghold by disguising themselves as traders, which the warriors saw as harmless visitors. Their plan worked perfectly, and they were able to gather all the information they needed to launch a surprise attack on the stronghold. With Karim leading the charge and Dean and Luka providing backup, they fought their way through the warriors and finally came face to face with Zoltar himself. But Zoltar was not going down without a fight. He was a formidable foe, and it seemed as though the friends were no match for him. But just when all hope seemed lost, Luka remembered a funny joke that his grandfather had told him about slipping on a banana peel. Luka quickly grabbed a banana peel and threw it at Zoltar, causing him to slip and fall flat on his face. With the dictator disoriented, Karim was able to land the final blow, defeating Zoltar once and for all. The citizens of the underground city rejoiced at their newfound freedom and hailed Karim, Dean, and Luka as heroes. They threw a huge party in their honor, with food and music and dancing late into the night. As the friends lay down to sleep that night, exhausted but happy, Karim looked over at Dean and Luka and said, "I never thought our little adventure would lead us to something like this." Dean replied with a grin, "Well, you know what they say, Karim. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought him back." Luka chimed in, "And a banana peel saved the day." They all laughed, knowing that they had just been a part of something truly special. The next day, the friends were getting ready to leave the underground city to return to their own world. The citizens thanked them once again for their bravery and gave them gifts to remember their time in the underground city. As they made their way back up the staircase, Karim, Dean, and Luka couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. They had not only discovered a hidden world, but had also helped to free its citizens from the grip of an evil dictator. Once they emerged from the door at the top of the stairs, they found themselves back in the woods where they had started. It felt surreal, as if they had just woken up from a dream. Karim turned to his friends and said, "We may have just saved an entire city, but I think we can agree that our biggest accomplishment was making that dictator slip on a banana peel." Dean and Luka chuckled, knowing that the joke would never get old. As they walked back to their own village, they talked excitedly about all the adventures they had been on and the things they had seen. They knew that this experience had brought them closer together and that they would always cherish the memories they had made. When they finally arrived back home, they were surprised to find that news of their heroism had already spread. The villagers welcomed them back with open arms, and the children looked up to them as if they were the bravest people in the world. From that day forward, Karim, Dean, and Luka knew that they had a special bond, forged by their shared experiences and the knowledge that they had made a difference in the world. They had learned that sometimes the greatest adventures can come from the most unexpected places, and that even the smallest actions can have the biggest impact. And as they drifted off to sleep that night, exhausted from their journey, they knew that they would always remember the hidden underground city and the friends they had made there. The end.